Several years ago, I started, with the author's permission, to make an audiobook of New Age Bible versions. I got several chapters in, and Gail Riplinger, the author, pulled the plug. New Age Bible versions may never actually become an audiobook. So like I said, I started making an audiobook of New Age Bible versions with AI software called SpeechLO. I ended up skipping to another AI software, which was a little bit more user-friendly, but it wasn't that much more user-friendly. It was super tedious. I only got like 2 or 3 chapters in. Now, the deal with Gail at the beginning was that this audiobook would be available to the public. Everybody would be able to watch it. So I reached out to a lady who is part of our Friends of Gail Riplinger group on Facebook. She is a professional audiobook reader and a photographer, and she loves New Age Bible versions, and she loves Gail Riplinger. We had some very good conversations, and she was going to give us a phenomenal rate, less than half of her normal rate, for narrating New Age Bible versions, which is a 600, now 700 plus page book. So it would have taken a lot of her time, but it was one of her passions, and she really wanted to do it. So we took her up on her offer. It was still a lot of money for me to be able to cover, especially with 4 kids. I wanted to crowdfund the project. There are still a lot of people online in our Facebook group that would be ecstatic. They would have been thrilled to death to donate a small amount of money. That's what crowdfunding is. Crowdfunding is where a lot of people donate a small amount of money to make your passion projects come to life. So this was the plan that I had for the New Age Bible versions audiobook, to pay this phenomenal lady to read New Age Bible versions. And she did deserve to be paid. It would be a tremendous project. Wow. It would have been a lot of work. So I let Gail Riplinger know how I was planning to pay for the New Age Bible versions audiobook. Looking back on it now, it may have been a mistake. This is where everything started to fall apart. Gail prefers to never ask anyone for financial assistance. Just ever. She said she did not want the audiobook project to be funded by crowdfunding. So I was very confused as to why. The reasons that she did, apparently, is because she wanted to be like George Mueller, and just whatever basically happened for her ministry, she would just pray for and God would provide it. So I don't see anything personally wrong with crowdfunding an audiobook. I don't see anything wrong with Gail wanting to crowdfund an audiobook. I respect her decision. It was hers to make. She decided not to move forward with the audiobook project. At the time, and probably still a little bit now, I was frustrated. And, I was just like, it didn't seem like just that was the whole reason why she canceled it. At least that's what it seemed like at the time. I'm not sure if there was another motive for why she wanted it to end. I know there's been some other motives behind some other things that she has talked to me about, but those will be for another time. And it just gets more and more interesting from here, to be honest. One of the main reasons why I really wanted there to be an audiobook project was so that we could offer the book through our platforms, through either our Buy Me a Coffee shop or through our YouTube channel. I didn't have to make money off of it. To begin, I was like, I don't care if I make money on this. I would love for it to get out. It is a passion of mine. I wanted it to be out there so people could be a little bit more aware of what she said in New Age Bible versions and what she uncovered. As we moved into the audiobook project, I was like, wow, this is taking a lot of work. There's got to be some kind of compensation for this. It is tremendous the amount of time that I'm putting into this. And so one of the other motivations that kind of grew out of that was I was really hoping that I'd be able to sell it on our Buy Me a Coffee page, and also maybe Gail would be able to sell it at avpublications.com. Just a little interjection right here. There was no plans of becoming independently wealthy from selling digital copies of New Age Bible versions. None. I was hoping that if Gail was able to sell it on her website, that it would be able to help her out financially because their ministry struggles constantly. And I was hoping that if we were able to offer it on our shops, on our digital shops, that as time went on, we'd be able to fund a little bit more of our Bible version conspiracy channel, help our family out a little bit, and fund future audiobook projects for, like, In Awe of Thy Word, hazardous materials, things like this. So, just thought I'd let you know that. And I think that was our mutual plan for a little while there, but then we just kind of went back to the original thing with it being free. And I was like, okay, well, then I can't dedicate my time to working on this. It just wasn't going to happen. Now, the primary motivation was not just because it would be neat to offer it, or neat to be able to see it on YouTube, or neat to be able to listen to it for myself in my commute, or what have you, to familiarize myself with the material better. One of the main reasons that I had was to get it out into the public space and make it more freely available. Most people are not going to read a 600 to 700 page book, especially if it's severely criticized and blacklisted in the public eye among most Christians and people that are not part of a specific niche of King James onlyism. So I was hoping that an audiobook would make the material more readily available. People would be able to listen to it on their commutes. People would be able to listen to it while at work on an AirPod or what have you, for the material to get out there, and also for people to be able to give it criticism, constructive criticism. I was hoping that people would be able to give it more of a fair hearing, that there would be positive, constructive feedback that would come of it. And also, as an artist, I know that constructive feedback, constructive criticism is absolutely indispensable. Now, I made this video primarily to respond to a rumor that's been going around that I have a secret, a deep-seated grudge, a vendetta against Gail Riplinger for pulling out her support from the project. And this person who is saying this is saying that I am mad because she did not immediately endorse a new audiobook project. And I'm just like, no, that's not how it happened. She endorsed the project all the way up after I had worked on it for literally years and only gotten a couple of chapters out of it just because it was so tedious. There was so much procrastination involved. But when I would start a chapter, it would be months before I would finish it. It was not a new audiobook project. Gail Riplinger did give her approval. What I didn't get her approval for was for me to be able to use crowdfunding to pay someone else to read it. That's where the support was pulled out. She actually sent me an email that was titled Cease and Desist. So, yeah, it was a little harsh. Do I have a vendetta against her? No. Am I considering, for the first time in my life, actually, considering and feel like I am more ready to listen to the other side than I ever have been in my life because of her pulling out her support from an audiobook project? No. And have I been mad and angry against any material related to this, or the subject of the King James Bible, or you know, the modern translation debate, or anything like this since then? Has that just really turned me off to the entire subject? No. One of the main reasons why I'm finding my confidence in our position on this subject being shaken is because of what I am uncovering in her book, New Age Bible Versions. It has to do with me fact-checking her material. It is just, I think, very revealing. And to be honest, like I've said before, I'm glad the audiobook project didn't pan out. I would hate to be promoting the level of subterfuge that I'm seeing. If you want to hear a little bit more on that, we're making a video about it soon, so stay tuned. Now off to the next video.